I am so excited about this speaker this morning. One of his regional directors got promoted to regional vice president about 3 weeks ago at our international Zoom call that we had for ACN. I was just so proud of her getting promoted, and I was happy for him because it's another RVP, an RVP pop. I mean, that is beautiful. And I'm just so excited about this young man. He's been in ACN 7 years. He started at the right young age I think it was 19. And he's 27. Yeah, okay. And I'm just so proud of him. I see the heights that he hit in ACN. I also see his organization took off and he went right back here and he started building all over again. And without further ado, my dear friend, regional vice president from Maryland / Texas / Miami, the great, the one and only Mr. Shakeel Cooper.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm excited to be back. It feel like it's been months, since we all been able to get on the Zoom call. I know with everything that's been going on the past couple of weeks, everyone is excited to start the month off really great. And I actually stayed up last night until, it was Houston time to like 3:30 in the morning, just putting together this PowerPoint. I always try to bring value, always try to just share the things that I've learned over the years with you all. And I can promise you that every week I tried to bring something different. This week, I was also able to bring something that I think that you all would really take and go out there and apply the information. I promise you, it can change your life. So before, what I'm going to do is I got a 2-minute video I want to play to get you guys mindset up and running. But before that, if you're not taking notes, I need you to take notes because the information that I did put together is very knowledgeable. And I really think that you should be taking notes every time that you're on any call because you never know, the information that you might have. You always want to have a journal with you at all times. I tell people, never leave your home without a journal. Almost every month I have a new journal, and it's because I like to take the information that's in my head and put it on paper. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go right into the information. Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go.
McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie and Fitch, last names. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, 2 last names. Rolls-Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name. Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying, look at this family. And what you don't know is while you're making every family rich, you're making yourself broke. So you done went to one family called Wells Fargo and got $200,000 so you can go to another family called Rolls Royce so you can give them money to get yourself a car so you can go back to the hood and see the Joneses and say, look at what I got. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo, their family's sitting up being rich, and Harley Davidsons and Rolls Royce are being rich, and the Joneses are sitting there holding up people's stuff saying, look at what we did and we broke. What if I told you that your blessing is attached to your name? That part of the reason why you're not wealthy yet is because you keep trying to make Yolanda wealthy. You keep trying to make Tasha wealthy. What if you made Johnson's wealthy? What if you started thinking about your kids? What if you started thinking about your legacy? What if God started dropping Canaan and opening up windows of heaven? Because now you're not just thinking about you, you're thinking kingdom. There around some people who are attached to you who are saying, Mama, can you do something with this name? There's some people who are saying, God, can you do something with this name? Maybe God gave you the name to change and reverse some of the stuff that the name meant one day. I wish there was somebody in this room that said my name might mean one thing right now, but I promise after today, this name's getting ready to change. I promise after today, everybody's gonna want my last name. I'm here to let you know you are a curse breaker. You're thinking kingdom. You are not you're breaking a curse. You are not just graduating from college. You're breaking a curse. You are not just getting out of high school. You're breaking a curse. You are not just saved. You're breaking a curse. And everybody around you is about to be blessed because of what God's getting ready to do in your life.
So I wanted to start off that video because I want everyone to have the mindset of, your last name. What are you really doing, anything that you're doing in life for? And if you're not doing it for your last name, if you're not doing it for your family, then what's the point of really doing it? So real quick about my background for the people in the call that might not know who I am. My name is Shakeel Cooper. I'm currently 28 years old. Got involved in network marketing ACN when I was 20 years old, fresh out of college. I was going to college when I seen the business. I was a freshman. And I made a decision that I wanted to go full-time and become an entrepreneur because I was going to school and I was listening to teachers that just didn't have what I wanted. And I kept saying to myself, why am I going to keep listening to people that don't have what I want? They don't have what I want, they just don't have what I want. And I always was told that, listen to people that have what you want. So I made the decision to go full-time, become an entrepreneur. And then from there, I was working at Applebee's. So I was also working in the restaurant industry and I was dealing with all kinds of people. And I said to myself, this ain't it for me because I watched the people that worked in the restaurant industry for years. And I know that over time, you either become fat or you become bald-headed or you become both. And I didn't want either one of those for my life. And the reason why, because of the stress. And guess what? You're stressed out, but you're not making a lot of money, right? So when I know that you have to focus on your last name, I said to myself, I want people to know who Cooper is. When they hear Cooper, they automatically think, oh, Shakeel Cooper. I don't care about my first name. I care about my last name. So I hope that the information I'm going to talk about today, that you guys really take it in because I promise you, it can change your life. So let's go and get ready to go into the information, right? So we all have a dream of becoming somebody. We can agree that everyone on this call always thought about becoming somebody in life. You always probably thought about, listen, one day I want to become famous. I want to become known in my community. Maybe you want to do things, that will take care of your family. You want to do things that'll make your family proud. Everyone always thought about becoming wealthy. Because who want to be poor? Nobody want to be poor. Nobody want to be broke. So we always in our lifetime, at least once in our life, had thoughts about becoming wealthy and taking care of our family. Or maybe, you had the thought of just making 6 figures and going in business for yourself and running a big company. But I can promise you that everyone on this call thought about one of those things that I just talked about. And the most important part about it is that guess what? If you don't have a dream, what is the point of living? See, most people, they always talk about what's going on in their life right now, but they never talk about their dreams and their goals, because I can tell you that if you focus on your dreams and your goals and your vision of what you want for you and your family, I promise you that those things will come into fruition. From there, only the free enterprise system allows people who come from humble backgrounds to live out their dreams. Everyone in this country has the opportunity to make something of their life. And I hear people complain all the time about, I can't be successful because of this. I can't do this because of that. Listen, if you live in America, you have a fair shot to becoming whoever you want to be. And I don't care about what everybody says about America, because guess what? America is the only country that has a free enterprise where you can be broke at the bottom and get to the top if you really want it. Most countries, you can't go to Peru and just make it big. You can't go to Mexico and just, blow up and become a big business owner and things like that. No, because some of these countries are not free enterprises. America gives someone like me that came from a country in the Caribbean island at 9 years old. My family moved from the country Trinidad to America, and we just worked hard. And now today, my family, we're not, super, super wealthy, but my family coming from nothing, there's not too many people in my family that's really struggling, if that makes sense. They came from nothing. They was able to come to America and build a life for themselves. When I know people that live here their whole entire life, and the only thing they have to show for is excuses. Oh, I can't make it because the man is holding me back. Oh, I can't make it because they don't want to see me win. No, you just have a bunch of excuses. I came from an island and moved to Baltimore. I went from an island, then I moved to the hood in Baltimore. How do you go from an island to the hood and still become successful and was able to free yourself at 20 years old? I didn't have no business background. I didn't have no mentors, all throughout my life telling me what I need to do. No, I just know that I wanted more for myself. And I knew that the moment that I stepped on American soil, I always told my mom, one day I'm gonna be rich. One day I'll be successful. I don't know how, but I promise you. And I told my mom this growing up all the time, to the point that, she started to believe me after a while, because she like, man, this guy wouldn't stop no matter what he go through. No matter what she see me go through, she never see me give excuses, and she never see me quit. And what that does is it empowers my family to just be stronger than who they was before, because I'm the first person in my family to say, you know what? It's not about the money. If I can't have time and I can't have money at the same time, I don't want no parts of it. See, I only want to do things that will be able to give me more time and more money to be able to spend it with my friends and my family members. And if I can't get both of those things, then I don't want to do it. Why? Because I value time more than I value money. But guess what? If you don't have no money, what's the point of, having time? Because think about it, right? Too many people are struggling today. The world is changing, but you now have an opportunity where you can go out there and make something happen. You can make it happen, but the only way that you're going to make it happen, if you say to yourself that you want to make it happen and you eliminate all excuses about why you are not where you need to be in life. I don't care if you're 65. I don't care if you're 18. I don't care if you're 35. You can start fresh today. You can start a new life today. And in a few years or in a few months, your life can be totally different than it was today. From there, in a free enterprise system, it doesn't matter where you're from. You can be the person of your dreams. And I know that because it happened to me, and I see it happen every single day, where people that come from nothing just went out there and wanted it bad enough and made it happen. I study successful people. I study people that came from nothing and rise to where they're at now. I remember studying people, that literally people told them they wouldn't be anything. And now today they're billionaires. So don't listen to people that's telling you what you can't do. Always surround yourself with people that's telling you what you can do. From there, if this is true, right, why do so many people fail, right? And statistics shows that Americans are among the wealthiest people in the world. No matter your situation, you are wealthy. Because if you go to an island in the Caribbean or you go to one of these third world countries, you look at your problems and you look at the problems that they have, and you will probably put your problems in the trash. Because guess what? If you live in America, you have a better chance in life than most people anywhere else. And the reason why, because 85% of our population in America is broke. And when I mean broke, it's not broke because you don't make a lot of money. It's broke because of the habits. It's broke because of the mindset. And less than 1% of our population makes more than $50,000 a year. We live in the wealthiest country in the world, and less than 1% make more than $50,000 a year. And that's in anything. And people are so scared to fail that they won't even make the first step to just keep attempting until they figure out whatever they want to get great at. And to me, failure, all it means is first attempt in learning. Listen, when you think about failure, you got to think about every time you fail, you learn from it, you get better. See, when I had so many failures, one thing about me, I was not scared to fail. I'm still not scared to fail. See, I always got in trouble because I was never scared to at least attempt something. And most people said, how did you able to do what you done at a young age? Listen, I'm not scared to fail. I'm not scared to look, embarrassed in front of the world. I'm not scared of what, matter of fact, I don't care what nobody think. And that's the difference between me and most people is I truly, in my heart, I don't care what nobody think. Because if what you're telling me, if you don't really care to help me get to where I need to go, your opinion don't matter. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way, but I'm just telling you that a lot of times the people around you are the reason why you're not where you are today. Because you care more about what people around you think. You care more about what strangers think about you, that you don't even make the first step to success. When failure is the first step to success. You got to fail your way to the top. You have to fail your way to the top. See, people talk about how much money they spend, you know, in life. But listen, do you know how much money I have invested back into myself? See, if you're not investing into yourself, what are you really doing? Because listen, network marketing, ACN, any other business, if you don't invest into yourself, you will not be successful at anything that you do. See, ACN is no different than any other business. And that's why I was able to have success, because I had the mindset that this is no different than any other business. The thing I had to do is fail my way to the top. How do you fail your way to the top? By doing something every single day and learning from it. Learning from it. Our business is not hard, people. It is not hard. How hard it is talking to people. But the reason why people say it's hard talking to people, because most people, they've been stuck to say, don't talk to strangers. You know, don't network with people. You know, don't talk to that person. When you, in reality, you have to network. See, I travel a lot, but every time I travel, I meet somebody new. See, I've been traveling to Miami a lot recently. I have a whole lot of new friends in Miami that I'm going to be expanding business and things with. See, you got to get out your comfort zone and go places that you don't know. Go places where you can really, truly help people in your life. Because if you're not trying to make the world a better place, then what is your position in this world? See, to me, I know that by helping and giving back to the world, bringing opportunity, sharing information, if I can change at least one life, I did a great job, because most people don't change most people's lives. See, it's about changing life. Because I can tell you that my mentor, Mr. Jim Rohn, said, you know, you get paid for the value that you bring into this world. If you don't bring no value, you don't make a lot of money. And people said money is not everything, but guess what? It can change your life. You need money to be able to do things to support your family and set up something where your family don't have to struggle. Your family don't have to worry about, you know, when is the next paycheck going to come in. You have to make the decision today to say, you know what? I have an opportunity now, and what am I going to make out of it? What am I going to make out of the opportunity that I have? And I believe that the number one reason for this is fear. And most people, when they look at fear, all it means is false evidence appearing real. That's all it means, fear. So many people are so scared to try that they never even make a decision to do anything different. They rather be stuck in the same position that they've been in and they don't like it. And it's all because of fear. Fear. What are you scared of? That's the number one reason. Listen, people are afraid of failing. And what will people say when they do fail, so they never take the risk of going into business for themselves? Even if you're already in a business, you haven't went to your full capacity because you are scared to fail, and you are scared that everything that you say might not happen the way you think it might happen. And you don't want to look embarrassed in front of your friends and your family members because you told them, I got involved in this business and I was going to do this, I was going to do that, and it haven't took off the way you expected to take off. It haven't took off as fast as you expected to take off. And now your friends and your family members are looking at you like, you know, you said you was going to do this, you said you was going to do that. And most people, instead of having to worry about that feeling, they just never attempt anything. Even if they start something, they never attempt and go all the way in. And for most of the people here, the only way to achieve wealth or fame is to go into business for yourself. Listen, only a handful of people are able to accomplish their dreams by working with somebody else. And listen, working with somebody else, I have nothing against that. I told you personally, my experience working at Baltimore City Applebee's in the hood of Baltimore, it wasn't for me. Dealing with people, it wasn't for me, that did not have anything positive to bring into my life, if that makes sense. And you got to ask yourself this question: what are you doing right now? Are the people around you really helping you get to where you need to go? Because I didn't want it to be like my friends and my colleagues. I didn't want to be like anyone around me. And I think that's the reason why I just knew I was always different. And people to this day, they call me weird. And I'm like, I am weird because I'd rather be weird than be broke. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about mindset. I'm talking about habits. I'm just talking about the way people live their life. I don't want to live like the average person. And you don't need a lot of money to live, to live a great life. See, I just changed different things in my life so that way I want to grow fruitfully. I want to age. I want to be the person that when I'm 75 years old, I look 40 years old. See, I want to grow. I want to be different. I don't want to be I don't want to be like the most people in the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with not trying to be like everyone else, because if you act and you do and you be like everyone else, guess exactly what you're going to get. The same thing everybody else got. And guess what most people don't have? Much. They don't have much. Like in the video, they just have a bunch of family members, a bunch of family names stocked up, and they said, look at all I got. Most people, they spend more money on clothes than they do investing into their business. They spend more money on clothes than they do investing into their mindset. You know, right now, I'm looking at joining different clubs, different courses, and some of these courses cost a couple $1,000s to become part of the group. See, I'd rather pay for information because I know that information changes situation. Once you have the blueprint, it don't matter what. Guess what? You now can pass that down and empower the people around you and empower your family. See, when I gain information, I extend it to my family. Now, I help my aunt launch the business where now, she's making a couple $1,000s a month from home part-time. And that's able to help pay for her car. That's help pay for her mortgage. And guess what? She now can help make money with her nephew. See, if you're not about empowering the people around you and empowering your family members to live a better life, then what are you doing? If you're not getting information and bringing it back to your team and empowering your team, what are you doing? See, one of the reasons why I've had so much success over the years because I never kept the information away from my peoples. Everything that I know, I give it to people. And I give it for free when I need to be charging for all of the information that I give away because I spend a lot of time, energy, and money. And I spent a lot of failures, a lot of years of failures by going through some of these things so I can teach people how not to go through these things. See, I'm going to teach you about real life. I'm not going to just talk to you about business because guess what? Life is business. I'm just talking to you from the things that I've learned because I just never gave up. And that's one of the biggest things about me. I just don't quit. I don't care how much I fail. I've lost it. I've made it all and I've lost it all, man. I've lost $100,000 and I made it. But guess what? The information I have, I'm already a millionaire. I'm already a millionaire. I'm telling you, I'm already a millionaire. And you will look back years and say that this guy been saying it since he's 20 years old that he's going to be successful and he's going to end up successful. And it's not because I did anything special. I just never gave up. I just never gave up. From there, as a result, most people, they just give up on their dreams. They just give up. They said, you know what? I'm tired of struggling. I'm not at my promotion yet. I haven't hit my promotion yet. But they give up. What if it take you 10 years? What if it took you 20 years? See, stop focusing on how long that it take you and focus on the things that you learn throughout the journey. See, too many people focus on the destination, but they don't understand that the most important part is the journey itself. And it's easier for people to make up these reasons, excuses for why they never, even become successful in their business. You spent the money you got started in a business, but you haven't really took the business to the level that you know that you really can take it. And it's the reason why, because you all might not be in the business right now, right? And these are still your excuses. You paid your money, you got started, but you got on these calls. This is what you say to yourself every day. Oh, I don't have the money to invest into my business. Or I don't have a college degree. Or I don't have any special knowledge, in that area. I don't have any experience. I don't have, I don't know what kind of business to go in. I can't give up my guaranteed income. And that's one of the most important things. See, too many people, you know how many times that I had conversations with people and they said, oh, I don't want to lose my Social Security from the government. Listen, you are barely surviving off of that, and I'm giving you an opportunity to make way more than what you are getting, and you are telling me I can't give up my guaranteed income. So you rather be content with crumbs when you can have the whole loaf? That makes no sense to me. That's why I couldn't be at Applebee's making $3.63 and somebody saying, listen, you have an opportunity where you can make as much as you want to. As long as you put in the work, you can write your own paycheck for the most part. I don't want a guaranteed income because guess what? There's no such thing as a guaranteed income for me. There's no such thing. I don't even know what that means. There's also some people that say, oh, I had 15 years invested in my current position. Listen, if you've been doing something for 15 years and it ain't getting you where it's at and you don't have no control of it, you need to do something different. I know people that have been in the same job for 20 years and they still stuck in the same situation they've been in for 20 years. You got to do something different. You can't expect something to change. You got to don't be the person that said, oh, I'm scared. I don't like sales. Everything you do is sales. Everything you do is sales. You sell yourself every day. You sell yourself to your boss. You sell yourself to your boss so you don't get fired. So you say, I don't like sales, but guess what? You're already involved in it. And that's the thing. People don't know what they don't know. People just talk a whole bunch of nothing. And that's one thing I learned. I've been studying a lot about human nature. And I can tell you that most people, they don't even, Most people don't even operate on a conscious level. They just do what everybody else, they do what the masses do. They do what everybody else around them doing. That's why you don't see me with a bunch of people. I don't hang in groups. I'm an alpha male. I'm a lone wolf. Yes, I can hang with other people. Yes, I have a pack of people. I have a team of things like that. But for the majority of the part, I'm a lone wolf. I do better when I'm by myself. But I can also be part of a group and help the group get to where they need to go. But guess what? The reason why, because I'm stronger than any excuse, because I can't look at my son and say, man, we ain't got it. No, I would never tell my son we don't have it. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, so that's never a situation. And then last but not least, I can't talk to people, but you talk to the same broke people every single day. That's not helping you. You gossip with your friends every single day, talking about what's going on in the news, what's going on in the White House. Why you worry about the White House? Focus on your house. And that's the problem with people. They care so much about everybody else's business, but they don't take care of their own. I don't care. I don't even listen. I haven't had a TV in 7 years. I don't watch TV. Turn off the TV and turn on your life. Why are you watching somebody else is already successful? You're not successful, but you'll spend 5-6 hours a day watching everybody else, what they got going on, watching their big home, watching them take care of their family, just watching, and not doing anything. And you have everything in front of you to get to where you need to go. It's no excuses. And I'm sorry if I'm coming off a little harsh, but listen, I'm about being real. And if I'm not being real, I'm not being myself. And guess what? I'm not going to be like anybody else but myself. So I'm just telling you the things that I know. And guess what? If you don't remove these excuses, just be content to where you at right now, because guess what? You're not going to get much farther. You're not going to get much farther. Why? Because listen, if you don't do anything different, you're not going to get anything different. It's just not going to happen, right? You got to have a builder's mindset, right? The magic of vision. Make no small plans, for they have no power to stir the souls of men. Let me repeat that for you. Make no small plans. It takes the same energy to think big as it do to think small. So just think big. Listen, my goals scare me. My goals scare me. My goals scare me. And it's scary because it's like, man, how are you going to do this? It's not my job. It's only my job to write it down and get to work. And I know that one day it will happen, right? You got to see off into the future of your marketing business, right? You're involved in marketing, right? If you think about a little business, that's what you get. Do you understand the words are powerful? People sit around and say, oh, my business is not growing. That's why your business is not growing, because you keep saying to yourself subconsciously, your business is not growing. See, you got to watch the words that you say out your mouth, because what you say is what you speak. See, I always say I'm the best. I got a big business. I'm going to have the largest business. I'm going to be the fastest. I always speak positive about myself. I'm never going to speak negative about myself. Why? Because I know if I speak negative, guess what's going to happen? Negative things are going to happen. But if you fully understand the power of building in your mind. So you got to first see it here. If you see the image of yourself building a giant business, a giant organization, then it will come to pass. But first, everything starts right here. People think, listen, which one comes first, the egg or the chicken? See, most people focus on the chicken when it's really the egg. See, it first starts off in the mind before it actually becomes a thing. See, and as you begin to see into the future, I want you to focus on two things: a large network of outlets and a large base of multi-product using clients. And all that means is that you need a large group of people and a large group of people using different services. And I'll tell you a quick story, right? So my organization growing crazy, right? And I think in the next 90 days, we'll be at 10,000 plus customers in our organization. Right now, we're like 7,500, right? So, but what I tell you is that I remember, last year before COVID happened, that, I was working super, super, super hard to keep my business afloat. And then when COVID happened, in the past year alone, my business grew by more than, I'm talking about 4,000 plus customers. And that's from my team. I had nothing to do with it. Nothing. I let my team be independent. I let them do their own. Listen, I teach my people how to not need me. They don't need me. My ultimate goal is how fast can I get somebody to be independent from me as soon as possible? Because if I can teach them how to be independent, then guess what? I can have more time to be with my family. See, a bunch of people focus on trying to control everything. I don't want to control everything. I don't want to be the man. See, when I became the man, I put other people in position so that they can have the light on them, so that they become the deal and they can go out there and build their own brand, build their own businesses, run their own business. See, I teach people how to be independent in life, because if you teach people how to be independent from you, they'll never need you. And that's what you want to build, an independent business, not a dependent business where everything is dependent on what you're doing, you having to be there, because all you did now was just create yourself a job. You got to do everything. You always got to be there. You got to deal with everybody's problems. No, if you teach your people how to be independent and you give them the blueprint, you give them the system, and you're there as a coach, and you let them go out there and figure it out and figure out how this thing called life works, guess what's going to happen? You are now going to build a stronger organization that's going to last for decades to come, right? And every true marketing person, they envision these two things as their ultimate goal, right? Each outlet represents the potential for the sale of products. And the more outlets you have, the more products you can sell. Once you establish a client base, adding new products that the consumer needs, it becomes a way to maximize your profit. And all that means is that the bigger your team, the more services that you can sell. If you have a little team, you can only sell a little amount of services. It's all in the numbers. The bigger the people, the bigger your organization, the more sales you will have, which equals to the more profits. And listen, we are involved in a profit-making business. This is not a non-profit business. I don't want a group of people hanging out being broke. That's called a non-profit organization. And if you want to do that, you can go downtown and sign it up for free, but we're here to make profit. I want a profit-generating business. We all have to be in profit. Why? Because it's business. What's the point of being in business if you're not making any profit? Don't just be comfortable with just being a part of the team. Be comfortable being able to make profits and adding to the team. If you're not adding to the team, then you're taking from the team. Dream big. This is your only job, is to resell the dream to the old and your existing team. Too many times people forget to sell the dream. Every time my team or someone in my organization talk to me, I always sell them a dream about where they could be, about how big we can be. You know, number two, teach your team how to sell the dream. You got to teach your people how to sell the dream. Because if you're not selling the dream, if you're not selling hope, if you're not selling vision, then what are you doing? What are you even talking about? See, people follow people with big goals and big vision, not a lot of money. So all I do is sell people a big dream about where we can go, how big we can be. And then I also sell the dream to the new people. But guess what? You got to sell your dream to everybody. Every person that come in contact with you, sell them your dream. Sell them your dream. Don't be scared to tell people how big your dreams are. Don't be scared. I got big, listen, my dreams make, I've told my mom my dreams so many times, and she said, boy, and hang up. Because my dream's so big that it scares her. Because all she knows is what she knows. My mom don't know what it takes like to be successful in a business. My mom never owned a business. So why would I listen to my mom about anything when it comes to business? I love my mom. She can cook. She's a great mom. But when she starts talking about business, I'll hang up the phone because she don't know anything about business. And that's my posture. And if you listen, if I can have that posture with my own mom, I can have that posture with anybody. And sometimes some of y'all, you scared to have that posture with the person that you probably sleeping with. You're probably scared to have that same posture with your wife, your husband, when those are the people that you need to have those postures with. Because guess what? If they don't see your dream and if they don't see your vision, they are going to hold you back from it. I'm telling you, you got to be bold. You got to have bold conversations with the people around you, because if they don't get on board, then they got to get off the board. Because I'm building an organization that's going to take care of us for generations. It's not about right now. I'm not focused on doing something for right now. I'm not focused on where I'm going to be in 10 years. No, I got to set my grandkids up. And that's the mindset that I have. And if you don't understand that I'm building this for generations to come, then you don't need to be a part of this dream. I only want people a part of my dream that want to be a part of my dream for generations to come, not for a moment. And these are 3 basic ways to build your business, right? If you're taking notes, number 1, wide. You got to build a wide business, meaning that recruit new people. You have to be recruiting new people, right? Number 2, deep. Taprooting, building an organization levels deep. And then number 3, wide and deep. See, you got to do all 3. See, too many times people focusing on, I'm going to just do number 1. I'm going to just recruit a bunch of personal people. I don't want to work with their people. It's okay, have fun with that. And then there's people that said, you know what? I just hope one person can come in and bring me to that next person is going to make me, listen, you can't get wealthy off of one leg of business. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. You're not going to work. So you got to ask yourself, width equals profitability, depth equals security. So yeah, when you go wide, you can make money, open line, right? But if you go deep, you build a security business, a structure. Just think about a building, right? If the foundation is not solid, then your business is going to fall over when the weather changes, when life comes around. Just think about last year with COVID. People that business that wasn't deep and wide, I don't see a lot of them no more. Why? Because COVID came through, they didn't have their business set up right. And guess what happened when their peoples quit? They give up because they didn't build a solid business. So your primary goal is to go wide, recruit new people, right? Because guess what? If you don't recruit nobody, you're not going to get anybody. And then from there, when you recruit them, go deep, taproot, build levels deep. I think I'm like 50 levels deep in my organization the last time I checked. You got to go deep. You got to go deep. You have to go deep. And the reason why you go deep, because guess what? You can now start building that leverage. It's people, I don't even know most of my team. Why? Because I know how to build. I build an organization that where I become the myth. They don't even know me unless they see me on a call. Other than that, my goal is not to always be the deal. And the reason why, because if I'm always the deal, I got to do everything. I'm not trying to do everything. I want to build an organization, a system that runs without me. So I can travel, so I can live life, so I can enjoy the fruits of my labor. So people see me, you traveling, you going there and there, because guess what? When I'm on the go, I'm always making money. All I got to do is get on Instagram and my team is working. I'm working too, but guess what? They working. Webinars nonstop all day, every day. And guess what? It's the system. I'm not lucky. I just focused on building the system since day one. Since I got involved in the business, I've been building the system and I haven't stopped to this day. And this is you right here. This is the type of business that you want to build. This is the type of business you want to build. 50 legs wide. I'm not telling you to go out there and build 50 legs wide, but I'm talking about the people that want to think big. I'm not talking about the small thinkers. If you want to be the small thinkers, then you could be the one right here where it says you at the bottom, the other one. But I'm looking for the person that says you at the top. I want to be at the top. I want to be able to build a large organization that just continue to grow without me. So you ask yourself this question, which one you want to be? Do you want to be big or do you want to be small? Because guess what? It takes the same amount of energy. And I had 2 more slides, but I want to talk about McDonald's, right? Because when I think about business, I don't eat meat, but I love McDonald's. Not the food, but the business model. I love the business model, right? Have you ever heard of the acronyms called KISS? K-I-S-S? Some say keep it simple, stupid, keep it super simple, whatever you want to call it, right? But these words are the secret to building. One of the most fascinating industries of this century in the fast food restaurant business. Over the years, new chains of hamburgers have opened, right? We can drive around, we see a whole bunch of different places that sell hamburgers, right? But all based on the example set by the granddaddy of the hamburger stands, McDonald's, right? The concept of selling hamburgers and French fries look easy enough, judging by McDonald's success, right? But a lot of fast food chains have been in serious financial troubles. Why? Because they failed at one of the most important principles in marketing. This is that they didn't keep it simple. The reason why your business might not be where it's at because you're complicating your peoples, you're complicating everything around you. When we have a simple business, we recruit people in our company to make money. And then we also acquire customers through those people that we recruit in our business. That's all we do, and get them to train. That's literally all we do. We recruit people, we help them get customers, and we train them. We recruit people, we help them get customers, and we train them. We recruit people, we help them get customers, and we train them. What is so hard about what we do? I just told you, if you keep it super simple, you'll be like McDonald's, right? Because that's the type of business that I'm building, right? So many new fast food restaurants, they didn't start with a solid foundation, right? They begin immediately adding cream of broccoli soup and pasta to their menus. You know, during the critical building stages, McDonald's remained true to itself. And guess what? Hamburgers and fries, now they have the world's largest chain and have totally mastered their fundamental products. And they are successfully adding things to their menu. Because as far as I remember, all I knew McDonald's sold was hamburgers and fries, hamburgers and fries. They might add something on here and there, but guess what? They always stick with hamburgers and fries and quote unquote chicken nuggets. I just had to do that there. But franchising is a model by, which fast food restaurant chains can expand quickly and effectively using the money of small investors, right? So the guy named Ray Kroc, he wasn't a founder, but he ended up taking over the company. He perfected a new franchise technique, increasing the corporation size while maintaining strict control of its product. Around the time, it is when CFO Sonneborn, most people don't know who this guy is, but this guy, he was the CFO, and he came up with a strategy that McDonald's still uses to today, right? And look, so McDonald's continue to use this today, and instead of making money by selling supplies to the franchisee or demanding huge royalties, the McDonald's corporations become the landlord of its franchisees. And this relates to network marketing too. So I hope that you're taking notes. I hope that you're following along, right? So they bought the properties, right? And then they leased them out at a large markup. In addition to that, the regular income, the corporation would take a percentage of each shop gross sales. So not also do they own the land, they own the building, and they also take a chunk of all of the gross sales. And you can't do nothing without them. You have to, listen, it costs millions of dollars to get started. You have to go to Hamburger University to even own a McDonald's. You have to go to university to own a McDonald's. And the reason why, because their system is so great that they don't want you coming in there and changing the M to red or changing it to pink or green. It's yellow. Do you understand that colors give you emotions? When you see that M, you become hungry. I don't care, even if you don't like McDonald's. When you ride past the McDonald's, you become hungry because you see that big, giant yellow arch. So today, McDonald's makes its money on real estate. Real estate. McDonald's is not a hamburger company. They are a real estate company. Duplication, right? And I'm going to more information real quick, right? It's real estate. Guess what? They will buy and sell properties while also collecting rent on each of its franchise locations. McDonald's restaurants are in over 100 countries and have probably served over 100 billion hamburgers. They are over 36,000 locations worldwide, which is about 15%. That's why only 15% are owned and operated by McDonald's Corporation directly. Only 15% of McDonald's businesses are controlled directly by the corporation. The rest of them are controlled by the franchisee, right? So the rest of the franchisee operated, and during the 2008 recession, McDonald's leaned heavily on the fact that their business, as they capitalized on the property market. So while all these other companies was crashing in 2008, McDonald's became a more successful company. Guess what they did? McDonald's started buying up land and buildings, right? And now McDonald's, they're buying up more of the land and the buildings where it operates, and the company owns about 45% of the land and 70% of the buildings at their 36,000 plus locations, and the rest is just leased. It's a brilliant strategy, right? Being able to collect on rent help insinuate them from the ups and downs of the business of flipping burgers, right? While most of these companies are struggling, McDonald's are set. Why? Because they own everything. They own the building. They own your sales. They own how you have to operate. And listen, if you fall out of business, when they sign you for a lease, it's for 20 years. But if you don't become successful for 20 years, guess what happened? You still got to pay rent for those 20 years that you signed that lease. If you're not thinking like McDonald's, what are you thinking? I don't like the food, but I love the business model. Any business that I think about, I have to build a McDonald's-like business. In 2014, the McDonald's Corporation made over $27 billion. Billion dollars. And don't they sell what? Dollar burgers? How is a company that sells dollar cheeseburgers and dollar fries, they made over 27 billion? And 9.2 of that billion came from the rent from those locations, right? And then the 18 billion just came from the sales. Do you understand how powerful this is? I don't know. Listen, and this is the end, right? So the guy, Harry J. Sonneborn, this is how crazy it happened, right? He approached Ray Kroc with the concept of the guy Kroc owning the land that McDonald's outlets were built on, and then leasing that land to the franchisee. This business model led to the explosion growth of McDonald's. The real estate deals were handled through a specialty form corporation named McDonald's Franchisee Realty Corp. See, people just focus on McDonald's, the store, but McDonald's is the biggest real estate company in the world. The Sonneborn model persists to this day. And the business model, right, even though he was kicked out, of his top position in the company, to this day, they still use this model. McDonald's present day real estate holding, represent $37.7 billion on its balance sheet, 99% of the company's asset, and about 35% of its global revenue. Kroc appointed Sonneborn as McDonald's first president and chief executive officer in 1959, which he resigned in 1967. And to end it, McDonald's is just about burgers. It is a real estate powerhouse. It is a real estate powerhouse. Think about it. You are building a McDonald's-like business. I don't care if you're network marketing. I don't care what business you are in. If you are not focusing on using the McDonald's-like strategy, then you are thinking too small. So I hope that I was able to share some information with you guys today. That's all I have. But go out there and build a business with the McDonald's-like mindset. Build your business like McDonald's. Anything you do, think big. Think about ownership. Think about making ways how to earn income off of multiple ways from doing the same business. So that's all that I have for you guys today. So I thank you guys again, and I look forward to being back next week.